Okay, so let's move into the perfect black removal section or category in the Pixel Moshpit Photoshop version of the Rasterization Kit. So I've started from scratch again. It's like we've just opened this image and we want to remember to unlock the layer, which will rename it to layer 0. Now with this category, this perfect black removal, it's a function that'll basically perform the knockout function, and it'll handle everything for you. You don't have to do the knockout quick black. And you're probably going to ask yourself, why do you have a knockout black if you have it down here as perfect black removal? Well, this one, if you do a knockout quick black, you can mask it, you can kind of play with it, you can do some color corrections, all sorts of stuff. With a perfect black, it's not going to leave you a whole lot of room for that. You can still do stuff after the fact, but this leaves you a little bit of freedom to kind of play around before you process. This one will just automatically process everything. So again, it's pretty straightforward with this one. You have several categories of shape and different sizes of those shapes. So you have the ellipse, the round, and lines. You're going to have different angles for all of those. And the most common you'll see is this 22.5. And like I explained in the previous video, screen printers use it. It's just a very natural angle for the human eye to blend things softly and not have it pick up that we're doing a halftone illusion to blend. So let's go ahead and get started. So I have this in button mode, and you can change this at any time by just toggling the switch in your actions panel at the top right corner. So this one, I'm going to go ahead, we'll process it. We'll do a round dot, and we're going to do a larger dot at 35 LPI at a 22.5 angle, and I'll just go ahead and click this function. So like I've said in previous videos, the speed at which this moves really depends on your computer and the resolution that you set your document at. You want to, at minimum, be at 300 dpi. You don't want to go any lower because you're just going to get really, really crummy dots. So okay, the function's completed, and like I've showed in the first videos, go ahead and hit the Add Garment Color button, which will drop in a solid color layer for you to kind of preview. And at any time, you can double-click this thumbnail, and you can change the color. Like if you wanted to see what this looks like on a navy blue shirt, you can change it there. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in, and you can see that it has fully processed, and you're not going to really have any color shifting. It's removed the black from the image completely, and it's ran through the rasterization process, and this is ready to go for output. And like I said, you can preview here. So if we want to run this again, if we don't like what we see, keep in mind you have to delete the stuff here. I'm going to see what I can do in future updates to kind of clean that process up and make it easy. Yeah, this is how you kind of have to do it. So you can always just reopen the image and process it again. But I want to show you something else. So after this has been processed already, you'll see that it's labeled as original artwork, and you'll run into some problems if you leave that name there, so you might just have to rename it something. But let's go ahead and test. This time I'm going to do, let's do a line, and we're going to do a big thick line, which will be the 35 LPI at a 22.5 degree angle. I'll click that button, and you'll see this one we're good, but the knockout functions, if that layer gets renamed, you're going to run into problems. So again, we'll let it process. Okay, cool. Now it's done. Let's just scroll right back to the top, and we'll do an Add Garment Color function, and it'll drop that black in. And if you zoom in, you'll see we get some really nice lined halftones at that 22.5 degree angle. And the reason why I keep zooming out is I obviously want to show you the detail, but the human eye kind of works this way. If you're viewing somebody's shirt at a distance, they're not going to be able to see these lines, and that's why I zoom out. That's what you want to check. You want to kind of look in and out, and yeah, that's kind of how things work here. So that is the perfect black removal function in the Pixel Moshpit Rasterization Kit for Photoshop. And in the next video, I'll be moving into the plus black removal. See you in the next video.